What is going on, FA Nation? John Pemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook live show. We have a Wednesday 8-game DraftKings main slate on tap. Apologies for the delayed start here today. I was going on. Grande really set me off. A little bit of a tangent. Had me ranting, but we're back. We're ready to go. Ready to chat. If you guys played the example lineup we put out yesterday, or portions of the example lineup that we put out yesterday, you probably found some success. I know Grande there for a little bit was flirting with some top finishes. One of our loyal watchers commented that he took down a 12 single yesterday with our lineup, part of the lineup that we built. Just Team Michael Harris all day, every day.
And White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox stack.
And I'm assuming Yankees had to be sprinkled in there too because the home runs.
Home runs. Yeah.
No, whoa! Don't you dare short the Yankees. They had nine
home runs. Honestly, I said 7 because it's just my number. I didn't know it was 9. I know that
they tied their franchise record.
Judge hit 1, Rice hit 1. So
they had Bellinger, Caballero, Stanton.
Caballero homered.
He hit 2.
Caballero hit 2.
Yes. Okay. One of them. So get this. Okay. One of the home runs, his first one, was only out in 2 parks.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium in New York.
Incorrect.
Yeah. Oh.
Yankee Stadium, right? It was Fenway. It was a right field. It was Fenway and George Steinbrenner Field. It would have hit the wall at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Well, we had Caballero in our live stream lineup from
we did.
So
he was I've been unable to say Caballero's name enough lately.
Anyways, we're now on the Wednesday slate where we'll look to repeat the same success, though pitching a bit more questionable. You guys tuned into the preview show. You kind of heard us talk about that. I think we also have some weather in the slate.
I just blocked Anthony, by the way. Just letting you know.
What?
I blocked not Anthony Hunt. Our boy. I blocked Anthony.
Revenge game?
Yeah, he's blocked. He can go back 5 minutes.
Yeah, Steve said he took down the 17th in the Chin Music 5. Love that.
Dude, the Harris bunt.
What? Dude.
2 nights ago, they pinch hit for him. He would have come up with the bases loaded. Last night, they have him bunt with the bases loaded.
Bunt. Why? Why is he bunting? Anyways, looks like the weather that we're looking for here tonight.
It's just there's not. Not on the.
No, is that all early slate stuff? I guess?
The weather that we have to concern ourselves with is 20-mile-an-hour winds in Wrigley that are blowing in.
Blowing in. Okay, that's a decent amount.
Anthony, obviously, you now know I didn't actually block you, but talk about revenge again. You're gone for at least 5 minutes. Ask our boy Warren. I'll do it.
Your top price starter is Jason Mizorowski in that game with 20-mile winds blowing in, but we don't know how long he is going to be on the mound for. Noah Cameron's 9K, and then again, it kind of gets into a bit of a mess. Hurston Waldrop, Yusei Kikuchi, Drew Rasmussen in your 8K range. Doing your deep dive today, Grande, is anything kind of risen to the top for us?
Yeah. It has. So there is nothing about Jacob Mizorowski today. There has not been words on, at least at this point, what the pitches will be. And so that's obviously a question mark. But I do think in tournaments he's in play. It's obviously a really good spot. The Cubs are the worst offense in baseball since the All-Star break. And there's 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing in. So I would take a shot in large field stuff on Mizorowski. And that's largely due to what the quality of pitching is on this slate. The chalkiest pitcher of the slate is pitching in Coors Field. That goes to show you, not to crap on the quality of pitcher. That guy's really good. I'm just saying, typically not the case, right? You're getting a pitcher in Coors. It's a little dicey to begin with. So I do think Mizorowski's fine in tournaments. I have completely gone the other way about Noah Cameron today. We kind of poo-pooed him about the price. And you're not wrong about the price because the price is not good.
Yeah, I mean, it was just he doesn't strike anybody out really, so like the upside wasn't necessarily there. But we have talked a lot about Texas against lefties as like a target.
Yes.
So
And there was strikeouts. There has been inconsistent strikeouts, right? So I do think like where you look at Texas offense since the All-Star break, they're 24th or worse against left-handed pitching in OPS, WOBA, ISO, WRC plus. And over that span, they also strike out 24% of the time, and they don't walk. It's less than 7%. So like I kind of think this could be a ceiling spot for Cameron. Plus, the Royals are rolling. Their offense is incredible. The Rangers are going with Caleb Bushley today, and I don't know what their plan is for Bushley because he started in AAA. He just pitched a relief inning 2 nights ago on the 18th, so they could either look at the that was his like pitching, right? Like his weekly work where he, because you're obviously when you're not pitching, you're still working. It's not like you're just not throwing for 5 days. And he's gonna be extended, or the bullpen is gonna be heavily taxed. And I lean towards the second part, but there's win equity for Noah Cameron tonight with how good Kansas City's offense has been and how bad Texas has just kind of cratered and been against lefties. So I think Noah Cameron's in play. I'm not really interested in Waldrop. I think there's a little regression here tonight for Waldrop. A lot of the peripheral stuff and the batted ball stuff suggests regression for Waldrop. I think he's definitely fine. And if you get to him, it is what it is. Like, it's not like the best pitching slate, but I do prefer the White Sox side of that game. I think the pitcher that I've come the most around on, and I know we used him in the example this morning, but I'm almost willing to say UK Kikuchi is my SP1 today. Overall. And I know, again, we're going to talk Ohtani. And I think there's a lot at play here. One, I think some of the pitchers getting ownership today are hilarious. One in particular, and that's Bailey Ober, who's the second highest rostered pitcher of the day. I think that's absolutely hilarious. But like Yusei Kikuchi is not getting ownership at all. And I understand it's been kind of inconsistent. It's kind of been Yusei Kikuchi for most of the year. But there's a lot to like in this spot. You had specifically said on the pre-show the Reds don't strike out. Mm-hmm. That was what you said.
Oh, that's what it had been.
They do not strike out against righties. Last I checked, Yusei Kikuchi pitches from the left side. Unless Billy Wagner we're getting a Billy Wagner situation here, he will throw from the left side again today. Since the All-Star break, the Reds have a 24% strikeout rate against lefties, which is that's a pretty big number. Also over that span, they're 27th or worse in OPS, ISO, WOBA, and WRC plus, and they're dead last in ISO, sub 100 ISO over that span against left-handed pitching. There is a legitimate ceiling for Yusei Kikuchi in this spot. And we've seen what that ceiling is this year. 40 fantasy points against the Boston Red Sox this year. He has given us that ceiling. And I'm not sitting here saying that Yusei Kikuchi is going to give us 40 fantasy points. But on a slate with a lot of mystery at pitcher, and there's some bad pitchers getting a lot of ownership tonight, Yusei Kikuchi is legitimately one of just like the most talented pitchers on this slate, just like as a blanket statement, not including what the matchups are, just like in terms of talent. Yusei Kikuchi has as much as anyone. And he's not getting any ownership. 13% ownership. He's like the 7th highest, 8th highest rostered pitcher of the day.
We used them in our example lineup this morning. So
yes. So I am I'm all the way in on Kikuchi. I think Rasmussen is a good pitcher. And the field also thinks that because the people are playing him. It's just one of those spots where the Yankees have won 4 in a row. They've won 7 out of 8. They make pitchers work. They hit home runs. It's a small ballpark. I know he keeps the ball on the ground and doesn't allow home runs because he doesn't. He just, I mean, he had gone like 7 starts before allowing the home run last time out. He has 11 home runs allowed in 24 starts. Still not a spot that I necessarily want to test, especially with a guy who's already like capped at 80 pitches. So you can go there because again, he's just a quality pitcher, but I'm not personally going to go there. And that has, Yankees bias aside, obviously. Sure. Like
you have a Yankees bias?
That was the 8. Do we have what?
So do you have a Yankees bias? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. Well, I mean, I root for the Yankees. I just don't want that to seep into like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm just not playing Rasmussen because the Yankees. Scary offense. They hit they hit 9 home runs.
Yeah, for sure. Does it get any better for you in the 7K tier? We used Ohtani last night. They have said he will throw 5 innings. Is the Rockies? We know he has a high strikeout potential here. He is the highest rostered pitcher on today's slate as well. So are you with or against the field today?
Yeah, I mean, I think he looks good. It's just, again, he's pitching at course. I know it's a smaller sample. He might actually be having the best underlying stats he's ever had as a pitcher this year, which is kind of crazy. He has the highest K per 9 he's ever had. He has the highest strikeout rate he's ever had, 12.3 K9, 33.3% K rate, both career highs. His 3.47 ERA is accompanied by a 2.26 expected ERA. He's a 2.65 Sierra. This might literally be the best he's ever looked as a pitcher. But it hasn't been, he's only 80 pitches was his most he's thrown. So, like, will that regress as he throws more? I don't know. But why isn't he not going to throw 80 pitches again today? And 80 pitches against the Rockies, he might have 10 strikeouts over that span. So, yes, I think Ohtani is definitely in play. He looks as good as he's ever looked on the mound. I really can't fault the field for getting there. 7,500 is a really good price for a guy with as much strikeout upside as he has.
Sure. I had no arguments here. I mean, you said Bailey Ober is the number 2 guy. I did a parlay against him today. I did the over 2.5 on Kurtz, Langoliers. I did the over 2.5.
Did you?
Or over. Yeah. Like I'm fully out on Bailey Ober today. I went all in on the other side of that game for a parlay today. So what other than, like, I will grant the field that he has looked slightly better since returning. I'm saying that because they're innings, 4 runs in 5 innings, 3 runs in another.
Well, what was he doing before the injury? I mean, before the injury, he was like out of baseball.
He's given up 3 homers though in 3 games.
I think that's the point where I just like, what do we do? Like, the top 4 batters in the Athletics lineup all have a 200 ISO or better against right-handed pitching. All of them. And then Lawrence Butler's 180 this year. So their top 5 have 180 ISOs or better. Are we not paying attention to what Bailey Ober has done? Lefties 226 ISO against, righties 228 ISO against, 24 home runs. He allowed 27 home runs last year in 178 innings. I wrote that in the playbook today. He has a 24 in 100 innings this year. Like, guys, the Athletics hit a lot of home runs. Like, I know that they're a volatile offense, but dating back to the All-Star game, they're top 5 in the league in like every offensive category. So, yeah, I don't get this one. I'm absolutely playing Athletics today. If you're like, we played them on the pre-show before we even saw the ownership. Mm-hmm. Our pre-show lineup had multiple Athletics. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed in any capacity. So, yeah, I'm out on Bailey Ober. The only other 7K pitcher I would mention is Schlittler, and even that's scary. He looks good, and some of the peripheral stuff looks okay. he just allows a lot of power, and that's obviously a concern in a small ballpark. So that's why, he made my player pool, but he didn't make my core plays. I would have Schluttler in a couple lineups if building multiple. But I think there's a couple value tier pitchers that I want to talk about.
Where do you want to go?
Well, we'll talk in reverse order because the cheapest one is the highest roster. That's JP Sears, which you and I kind of anticipated because it's a Giants matchup. I don't know. I think you can get to JP Sears because the Giants strike out a lot. JP Sears also hasn't been a good pitcher. Was that because he was on the Giants or on the Athletics? Probably. But he was basically he was a 5-year pitcher away from Sacramento. And he was been kind of bad enough to where they had to send him down to get recalled. So I'm okay with it. If you're looking for a pivot, I think the pivot, and I wrote this in the playbook, is Nick Martinez. And only reason is because you're playing JP Sears today because he's cheap and because there's a lot of strikeouts in San Francisco, right? That against lefties, San Francisco strikes out a lot. But the whole field's going there. Nobody's playing Nick Martinez, who also faces a lineup who has a lot of strikeout, right? Since the All-Star break, they have a 28% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. That is 3% higher than the second highest team in strikeout rate. That is a large gap. When you're striking out 28% and there's a 3% gap between you and everyone else, I mean, that's a crazy margin. So for someone who outside of that last start against the Brewers and, Godspeed, you're facing a Brewers team in the midst of a 15-game win streak. He had allowed 2 earned runs or less in 5 starts, 6 outings, 5 starts, because he came in relief. He had been pitching really well. I don't look at Sears and Martinez as vastly different pitchers, and one of them is 25% and one of them's 8%. So I would just simply play Martinez in spots where I'm looking to get different over Sears. Mm-hmm. And then I saw, I think, did someone write Colin Ray's name? Yeah, Anthony did. Not Anthony Hunt, Anthony that I banned. He mentioned Colin Ray. I don't hate it because the wind. And he's also been okay this year. I mean, he's a sub-4 pitcher. If your 5th starter is this guy, that every year, you're probably having a good year and your pitching staff is probably in a pretty good spot. Obviously, it's going to be impossible to hit the ball out with 20-mile-an-hour winds.
20-mile-an-hour winds blowing in you.
In Wrigley, that's a kiss of death. So it's going to be very hard. Milwaukee obviously doesn't need to hit the ball out. They have a lot of speed. They run a lot. They do have a lot of lefties. That's Colin Ray's issue. That has always been his issue since he got back from the KBO. His Achilles heel is lefties. So that's the one concern. But I definitely see the path. So Martinez, Sears, Ray, if I'm ranking them in tournaments, I'd actually probably have Martinez first and Ray second. Sears third. Sears is probably, I guess, a little safer in cash games and stuff. I just saw his JP Sears ownership jump in real time. He's now the second highest rostered pitcher of the day, slightly ahead of Bailey Ober. But yeah, I think there's some good value. And man, JP Sears is just kind of
you're just strictly playing the matchup and the price. That's all it is.
Yeah, but I feel like it's the same thing for Nick Martinez. I could just play a matchup for lower ownership and hope I get 8 strikeouts from Nick Martinez because the Angels just strike out a bunch.
Yep. Obviously you'd be pitching the 2 pitchers in the same game if you do that because you already said
right.
He's your number 1.
Well, I think you could make a case for Ohtani as your like 1A, 1B situation. I also think Mizorowski, Cameron are okay, if you're taking shots in tournaments. But yes, I do think ultimately Kikuchi's SP1, but if you need money, like if you're stacking A's or Dodgers or both because they're not cheap, you would probably need to go Ohtani plus others value pitcher. And that's kind of what the field's doing, right? You don't get to the first three pitchers are 75 in terms of ownership are $7,500 or less.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Ohtani's strikeout prop today is at like 7.
Yeah, dude, he's been missing bat. Dude, is he career high in K per 9 and strikeout rate this year? Like he may be. I saw him do the McAfee interview where he said, "I'm a hitter that learned how to pitch." I'm starting to not believe that. Like he just
knows how to do it all.
He just does. Yeah. Like you don't just learn to pitch and have a 33% K rate. Like that's not possible.
All right, let's go on over to the catcher position here. Updating some ownership real quickly for myself. I still believe it's going to be Will Smith, though, when this is all said and done. It is 28%. No one else is over 10. With not having to pay for Ohtani as a hitter, we kind of expected this Dodgers ownership on sort of the rest of their lineup. How are you feeling about Will Smith today?
Yeah, he's very good at baseball. Super good at baseball. Excellent at baseball. I have no issues going there. Do I think Will Smith? I'll say this. I think Shea Langoliers has a higher ceiling. Okay. But I guess it depends on where your stack goes. I'm probably playing more Langoliers at lower ownership, but I've also stated my love for the Athletics tonight. And I'm not Bailey Ober's ownership. I will not let him get away with this. I will not let the field play a 25% Bailey Ober when he's been this bad against a team that is hitting this many home runs. Like I'm telling you right now, and it's obviously 1 in a million. It would never shout out Chase.
You gonna say 3 home runs today?
Shout out Chase Wright. No. I was gonna say I would not be surprised if like the first 4 hitters of the game homered off Bailey Ober.
I would take it.
Shout out Chase Wright, right? Like I'm just saying like the field is playing that guy that allows nothing but home runs against a team that just hits home runs. Like yes, I love the top 2 catchers a lot.
Okay. I mean, you're getting 30% on Will Smith. You're getting 7% on Shea Langoliers. So the ownership is certainly in your favor. Sean Murphy's actually number 2. He and Ben Rice are right next to each other. Ben Rice is $4,400. Sean Murphy's down here against Martin Perez at $3,400. How are you feeling about, I guess, sort of the rest of the group once you get past those top 2 guys?
Do you know how many hits Sean Murphy, without looking, do you know how many hits Sean Murphy has in August? Take a guess. It's
0.
August 20th.
0.
Over.
1.
Ding, ding, ding. He has 1 hit.
It's Martin Perez. I think it's
Martin Perez, baby. It's Martin Perez. No, Sean Murphy still has super elite. He still has a 300 ISO against lefties. So I think it's fine. I love Salvi tonight. I loved it more when Kumar Rocker was the projected pitcher.
Sure.
Caleb Bushley has been struggling against lefties specifically, like absolutely mashed against lefties. So, that's not what the side of the plate Salvi hits, but I'm okay getting to Salvi. I think the Royals offense again just has dominated righties since the All-Star break. So I'm good there. Teal has homered in back-to-back games. He has looked awesome. And we've talked about it. The expected power has been there. It just hasn't translated into results, but until the last few days, that is, the results are there. They're going to keep hitting him third. Love that spot. We talked Murphy.
How do you like about the Minnesota side of that matchup?
I think it's okay. JT Ginn has a serious lefty problem.
Okay.
Like really bad lefty problem. 305 ISO this year, 445 WOBA, 17% strikeout rate. It's a 33% strikeout rate to righties. So I'm not going to go like Jeffers. Sure. And I think we have Twins lineup already, right?
Yeah.
What do we got Jeffers hitting? Sixth. They're going. They are leaning into the lefty stuff a little bit here because they're hitting Brooks Lee third.
Okay.
And they're hitting Larnack, Lee, 2-3. Then they're hitting Clemens 5, Wallner, Outman, Fitzgerald 7 through 9. So they are
lefties. Yeah.
There's a lot of lefties. Obviously, JT Ginn. That's like JT Ginn's. Like, I mean, when you're allowing a 300
in the top of the lineup, the righty he has to deal with is Byron Buxton. So like,
and Luke Keyshaw hitting fourth.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's
not necessarily a walk in the park there for
no. But Jeffers is probably at lower end of the like. Yeah. I would stack a lot of Twins before I got to Jeffers, I think. Sure.
Any other value plays here, catcher then?
I would just probably mention Kyle Higashioka hitting fourth. We know his history against lefties. Fermin, if he cracks the lineup. If you want to play against JP Sears, shout out our boy Patrick Bailey. He's 2,400. But there's nothing like of priority down here.
Dodgers lineup, Ohtani leading off. Will Smith hitting second tonight.
No Mookie.
No Mookie Betts. So again, probably going to shift ownership around that. No Mookie.
Yeah, it's an interesting lineup.
Kennedy, Rojas, Freeland. So all the guys that would get pinch hit for each other are in the lineup tonight.
It's funny because, yeah, that obviously Mookie will obviously pinch hit at some point
if they need him to.
If they need him to, yeah.
Probably more apt to give him a day off than the Freeland Rojas split.
Yeah, that's fair. They're playing Rojas Kennedy against righties.
Yeah,
those are the ones that they got pinch hit for against righties the other day.
Yeah, so they don't care about this game. They're giving the guys some time off. So.
Well, you know what? They lost game one and then they said we're not going to do that one again and blew their doors off yesterday.
First base right now, it's Freddie Freeman. Again, we'll see if that ownership increases on him. Then you have Nick Kurtz, as we've talked about. Big fans of this 80s matchup against Minnesota. Cody Clemens is number 2. You highlighted him, that spot against Ginn, hitting fifth at 31. Miguel Vargas is getting some love as well at 11%. And then Matt Olson's the cream between the Oreos there for them. The other high price play.
Yeah, I like Freeman and Kurtz. I think Olson's fine. I think Freeman and Kurtz are on a tier by themselves up there. Nick Kurtz homers every day. I mean, yesterday he didn't homer and he had 21 fantasy points because he's always on base. He's always scoring runs. He's always driving in runs. He's always hitting for extra bases. And Freeman has looked good in this series. He has looked good coming into the series and then has followed that up like just having a successful series, looking very Freddie Freeman-esque, 3 doubles in this series. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Freeman and Kurtz are far and away the best spend ups. I love Pasquantino in the mid tier. Another guy who's just rolling. 4 home runs in his last 7 games, 5 home runs in his last 10. Gets a guy in Bushley who struggles against lefties. So 4,300 for Pasquantino looks really, really good.
Pasquantino's going to mess around and have like a 30-100 season after.
Yeah, for sure.
Slow start that all of the Royals had, right? Like,
dude, they're 2.5 games out of the playoffs.
I know.
Because the Mariners and the Red Sox have the Yankees started the losing, and now the Mariners and Red Sox are catching up with the losing. And meanwhile, the Royals are just like, all right, we'll just win 5 in a row and 8-2 our last 10 and like 2.5 back.
Yep. All right, Lennon Sosa, $3,900. So mentioned already, Vargas also getting ownership, as is Cody Clemens for the value tier. So would you play anybody between them?
No.
Okay. Second base then. Where do we look to build here?
Yeah, not a fun position. I would play Brandon Lau against Schlittler because the home runs and how good Brandon Lau is against righties. Jazz is, he is running like a maniac. He also obviously has a dual threat. Like 5K when Jazz is doing this is too cheap. I like Terang if he's going to run today. He hasn't ran a lot lately. You mentioned Sosa. He's fine. I think Ozzie Albies is in play, but it's not my favorite. I like Jonathan India tonight, 3,300. Again, another Royal that has been much better lately. I like Adam Frazier quite a bit. Adam Frazier's been really, really good. $3,100. Hitting in the middle of their lineup, hitting 6, but Bush Lee's been bad against lefties. So I think Frazier makes some sense. That's like it. Rengifo, I think if you're not playing Martinez, looks okay. I don't really want to play Alex Freeland at 3,600, but you can.
Yeah. He's your chalk right now. Albies, Miguel Rojas, and then Keyshaw. So
yeah, it's a weak position.
Sure it is. Third base, also ownership going on those guys, Freeland and Vargas, because they have their dual positional eligibility plays. We highlighted Caminero, like if there was a spot to hit a home run, hitting cleanup today could be a spot for him there. But another position on a medium-sized slate that just doesn't have the usual bop that we're used to here.
Yeah, Caminero is one of my favorite one-offs of the day. We've talked about Caminero against righties enough. He has 25 home runs against righties this year, 273 ISO. And he faces a guy in Cam Schlittler that has been really struggling against righties. He's been great against lefties. 26% strikeout rate against lefties, 280 expected WOBA, 115 ISO, 102 expected ISO. Righties have a 278 ISO against Cam Schlittler. They have a 292 expected ISO against Cam Schlittler. A 406 expected WOBA, 377 WOBA. One of my favorite one-offs. I would be absolutely okay spending up to Junior Caminero today. He is an elite fastball hitter. 311 ISO against fastballs this year. Cam Schlittler, 100 miles an hour, 98 average mile an hour fastball, one of the fastest average fastballs in the league this year. Obviously not going to qualify, but he's at 98 miles an hour for average fastball.
Yeah.
His fastball also to righties has a 238 ISO allowed. Just seems very likely when that pitch is being thrown double any other pitch against the right-handed variety that a guy with a 300 ISO is going to hit one to the moon.
I would agree with you.
So if I were to bet a home run tonight, Junior Caminero is like up there in the Kurtz, Rooker, Langoliers tier for me. I think he's like assuredly a home run tonight.
I love it. If we're moving our way down, though,
it's bad.
Anything bad. At all? Is there anything here?
I mean, if you're not playing Kikuchi and Duhar, he's been good.
If you're anti-Sears, I guess there's Schmidt and Flores.
Yeah, if you're anti-Sears, like it's fine. Miguel Vargas is hitting second. That obviously stands out. Brooks Baldwin. I had mentioned the Brett Harris punt on last night's show. I still kind of like it now that he's confirmed in the lineup, just because I'm just so anti Brett Bailey Ober and everything. And you know what? 27-year-old Brett Harris has been pretty good since getting called up. So if he were to get me 7 to 9 fantasy points at $2,400 and it let me get Rooker, Langoliers, Kurtz, then sign me up. And if that's how I completed my athletic stack.
Ober creeping closer to being the top starting pitcher on the slate.
I just like if I get beat by Bailey Ober, I promise you I will sleep fine tonight. I will wake up early because my son's in school now. So like maybe I won't sleep fine. Maybe I won't sleep fine, but like I'll wake up okay knowing that I lost to Bailey Ober because he has not been a good pitcher. And if this is where we're making a stand because maybe he was really good last year, then okay. Last year is last year. This year he's not been good. We're about to be in September and he has not been good. So I am all in on the Athletics today.
Shortstop. Some bigger names here. So obviously some money to be spent as well. Zach Neto is your highest rostered shortstop today, though, at just over 13%. Nobody else over 10. Bobby Witt, Corey Seager, Brooks Lee round out the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, Mookie going away obviously hurt everyone's plans. Right. I like Witt. We had commented on the pre-show last night when he homered. That was naturally going to happen because we kind of said there was no upside. Still, he had 16 fantasy points at 5,800. So, like, was fine, but it's a good spot. Like Texas bullpen is obviously Texas is just in full on collapse. Bushley is starting. We don't know what the length is going to be, and then the bullpen after that. I like Neto. Absolutely no problem. Like if you don't like using Nick Martinez, you can stack against them. That's perfectly fine. The Angels are just a good stack because they're upside, right? Like they could hit 4 home runs and you'd be like, yeah, that's what the Angels do. They could also get shut out over 7 innings and strike out 13 times. You'd be like, yeah, that's what they do. So Angels are always a good tournament stack. That's my assumption where the field is going.
Sure.
And then like you get in the mid tier, Colson Montgomery's back hitting 5th tonight. I like that spot a lot. We know he is a super high ceiling, super low floor because he strikes out a lot, but I think Colson Montgomery is definitely live for a home run here.
Sure. Other value plays for us, Hernandez hitting 6th, Fitzgerald's hitting 9th if you're just kind of stacking in that game. Brooks Lee, $2,600 there as well, is where kind of again the chalk is. Yep. You go to your outfield, as you mentioned, the entire team of the Yankees homered last night, but yet nobody's playing them today. Drew Rasmussen, obviously being a good starting pitcher, is drawing the ownership down. Dodgers drawing love, Braves drawing love here today. What are your thoughts?
I love the Braves. They're one of my favorite stacks today. The unfortunate part is like we haven't really mentioned a lot of Braves because all the ones that I want to play are in the outfield. I am definitely Team Ronald until the end of time at this price. Absolutely Team Ronald. Great to see him run too. First time he's stolen a base since he returned from the Achilles.
Once again, nobody's playing Michael Harris, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
it's lefty. I get it, but like, you know,
that has not mattered one bit.
No one is playing
it. It has not mattered a single bit. He's been the best player on the planet. Yeah, I think there's no real wrong answer. Like Judge is Aaron Judge. Yep. Right. Mm-hmm. Like he looks really good again. He looks like he's coming back into form. Christian Yelich. Yep. Really good baseball player. The problem is like
the wind, right?
The wind. But Christian Yelich, you know, he can swipe a base, hasn't in a while, mostly since the back. So probably not in the cards, but he's good. You can play Buxton and stack. Teoscar hitting 4th looks good. Rooker looks great. Again, like big home run spot for Brent Rooker here.
Taylor Simpson's getting some ownership.
Always. Do people we've talked about this.
I know.
He's overpriced. And I'm not saying he's bad, but he's overpriced. He was on base twice last night.
He needs a couple of stolen bases. Needs a couple.
And he was on base twice yesterday. Yeah. Did not steal. Ben Rice was the catcher, right? It's like Ben Rice is catching fine, but Austin Wells is the better catcher.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I'm not saying Simpson can't steal on Wells, but didn't run last night. Not ownership that I'd play. Like I play Simpson at that ownership. Pages 51, I think looks good. You mentioned no one's playing the Yankees, but Belly coming off the monster game, double dong, all the hits, whatever. Profar, love Profar. He was the cover of my playbook today.
Leading off. Yeah.
He hits lefties. This is the better split for him. And he's been hitting righties too. I mean, he's just kind of homering a lot. Yeah. He is, you know, for the early struggles of the number one, for a guy that was literally the number one prospect in all of baseball one time long ago, he has always hit lefties, even throughout those struggles. Like he has always been a better right-handed bat than he is a lefty. So love Profar at 4,400.
Yep, agreed. Soderstrom's 43 as well there. Again, you kind of have some of your stacks as you work your way down the list. Ozuna, Butler. If you're in on the Angels, Adele is there. Ramon Laureano's 4K. He keeps homering. Ramos against a lefty at 39. Yaz is leading offers. Bush lead $3,800.
Yep.
I mentioned Wallner already.
Yeah, like all those players. And then 35, 34, Larinack and Michael Harris are two guys that, again, you know, the Michael Harris one is who can you play?
Cody Clemens in the outfield as well.
Cody Clemens in the outfield, yep. That's why he's getting probably why he's getting a lot of the ownership.
Probably. There's not really much else value. I mean, Outman's 2K flat, but that guy's been.
You can play it. You could play Outman just because if he runs into.
He's been worse than Peterson.
Yo, Jock is coming around.
I'm saying he's been worse.
Jock actually looks fine. Fine. I'm just saying fine. Anthony, I'll run down your questions real quick. Waldrop is fine, but obviously White Sox have been good, and they get Colson Montgomery back. Mizorowski, we do not know. And Shohei, 5 innings, probably 80 pitches.
Kikuchi Otani Langoliers is how this starts.
Yes, that's a good start.
Profar was the cover of your playbook.
Yes, he is.
So it's 4K. I guess we probably just need to play some of this Dodgers value, right? Like one of it's kind of hit, right? They can't all go for 4.
Yeah.
Second, we like Vargas, right? Vargas will be the third baseman. 4,200.
It's probably Freeland, but I don't have much confidence in any of them. It's probably Freeland as the guy that I would play of the 3. Rojas has not hit pitching, but it scores and it's a bad pitcher.
Sure. Shortstop. Do you do like the Brooks Lee punt or?
Yeah, Brooks Lee. Yeah, I think the lefties against JT Ginn are firmly in play.
Well, that's about 5K play for first and 2 outfield spots. So we're gonna put the full lineup in the Discord. We've talked enough about the matchups we like today that if you are not in the Discord and you're trying to figure out what we're gonna do, hopefully you've paid attention. But that lineup will be in there for you. No live show tomorrow with the way the slate's set up, but we'll have a preview show. So we'll be back live on the Friday slate. But we do appreciate you guys tuning in each and every day.